Well, welcome to the Green St. Louis Machine podcast. I'm here with Sherry Amon, the founder of Green St. Louis Machine. And Sherry, I know this is a real special time because what do we have coming up? The Green Gala. I was wondering if you could tell us a little bit about the background of the Green Gala and why it's so significant, certainly for the Green St. Louis Machine.
I can't hear.
You can't hear me talk at all?
I can't hear you, Guy. All of a sudden, I can't hear you. Technical difficulties. I could hear you, now I can't.
Okay, I'm not sure what to say to that. I'll try bringing you back in. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now, talk? Are you able to hear me at all? No? I hear you just fine. Did you click anything? Still can't hear me?
You might be waiting for audio.
Yeah, the fact that you just heard me speak.
I see Guy talking, but I can't hear. I could hear a minute ago.
Okay, I'll bring Stella on. Hi, Stella. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
I see Stella talking, but I can't hear.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we hear you just fine. Yes.
I don't hear you since we went live. I can't hear.
All right.
Find your mute and change and click on it.
Yeah, try clicking on your audio. All right, I'm going to put you back here. All right, Stella, I'll ask you this question as Sherry works towards getting her audio resolved. We know that coming up very soon is going to be the St. Louis Green Machine, the Green Gala. Stella, why is the Green Gala so important to the Green Machine?
Well, the Green Gala is our annual celebration of our children focused on sustainability, community impact, and environmental education through initiatives like school-based indoor tower gardens and outdoor school vegetable gardens. And we do have the key elements of this endeavor showcasing student-led growing, harvesting, and recipe making. So in this Green Gala, we are going to enjoy the elements of growing fresh produce and harvesting fresh produce, and then making them into recipes, cooking them up, and eating them. That's what the Green Gala is all about, and children eating and celebrating each other's experiences in creating recipes from their growing gardens.
That sounds like a lot of fun. So obviously we'll be showcasing a lot of student-led recipes, and there's also going to even be some student awards. Is that correct?
Oh yes. So we collaborated with 4-H.
Okay.
4-H is a well-known area endeavor in agricultural experiences for children in the county, in the city, and all over St. Louis and Missouri, the state of Missouri. And our children is just now experiencing such a great opportunity in their acquisition of knowledge around agriculture. So when I say that with a lot of hope that our children are going to know where their food comes from, and to also participate in the growing and the harvesting and the entrepreneurship around agriculture. So yes, they will get green ribbons for their efforts in making growing and harvesting and eating and sharing green produce fresh from the plants and not even 24 hours old with their community and their families.
And there's obviously going to be the tower garden and the herb displays as well, correct?
Oh, yes. So, about 2 months ago, they started to concentrate in their individual schools on
Correct.
planting and harvesting and caring for produce, especially herbs and vegetables that they are
Yeah.
going to share with the community during this very wonderfully pointed celebration. So yes, there will be a lot of herbs harvested.
Yep.
Some are dried up so that they will have a good shelf life. Some are fresh, and we will share all of that with our community and our friends, and that will come to the gala.
And with that, Sherry, talk to us about the farm to table dining experience, because I can tell you this from the last event, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I thought it was wonderful being able to eat all these different items that were actually provided, certainly by our chefs as well as some of the students. So talk to us about the farm to table dining experience at the Green Gala.
Okay, the dining experience is something that is unlike something that most people have never had at especially a student-centered
Yeah.
event. And these kids at each school's Green St. Louis machine team have made dishes with the chef. The chef goes school to school
Yeah.
and has made the dish in the classroom with the kids after the kids harvest from the tower garden in their classroom, and they make the dish, and they're inspired by the chef will provide several recipes for them to choose from, and then they adapt it from there. And there's nothing like it. The kids are creating the recipe, making the recipe, and then tasting the recipe, and then they're judging, is this recipe successful? Recently, yeah, and so and recently we've partnered with 4-H, the
Yeah.
agriculture 4-H, the farming and all that.
Yes.
They have sent some judges around, and the kids are actually getting judges, and they're getting ribbons that will be presented at the gala. So then at the gala, the chef will make the actual the food for the hundreds of people there. But
Yeah. So, Sherry, what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring on one of our high school teachers. With that, could you actually upload now the slides? Because I want to actually show people, some of what that looks like. Because you got some great photos. If you could just re-upload them. Because when you
okay.
kick yourself back off, it didn't allow you to kick them
Oh,
back.
okay. If you put me back in the back room,
Okay,
and
I
then I
will.
can work
Sounds
on
good.
that.
All right. Thank you. All right. So, Stella, we're going to bring on one of our high school teachers. This is Emmy. Emmy,
Ah,
how are you? Please unmute yourself because we love to hear you talk. There she
I'm
is.
fantastic. Thank you very much.
Emmy, as she's getting these slides together, tell us what it's like working with the students, certainly on this farm to table dining experience, because I know you do a lot of these kind of cool things in your classroom.
I had a group of high school students this past week cheering for
Okay.
ups. That's so unusual. I've never seen that before. They're not just excited because they sound funny, because they
Yeah.
kept yelling "turn up" for turnips, which is adorable. But they're excited because the Green Gala not only showcases their work, but the other kids' work. And
Yeah.
who's going to say no to free food? The high school student, they're very hungry.
Of course.
And they get to try something tangible. So it's not just learning about healthy eating. It's not just learning about sustainability. It's the experience of it. It's
Yeah.
meeting other kids. It's meeting other professionals, seeing the people that have visited them, like the chef, Chef Rona, or we've had Heyru from Heyru Farms both visit us. And then we got to go to his farm this year.
Yeah.
So seeing them there as part of the community is really meaningful. And what the high school kids are especially excited about this year is they need these community service hours as a graduation requirement. So this year they're going to be allowed to help out backstage in the kitchens. And they are
Nice.
so thrilled to get the chef assistant experience.
Yeah.
There's nothing like being trusted with that kind of responsibility as you're about to step out into adulthood.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Looks like we might have our slides. Let's see. Oh, that's just Sherry coming back. I haven't found the slide yet. So I'll just remove her for a second. All right. So, Emmy, one of the questions that I always find fascinating talking to you is how do you build the student engagement? Because I got to tell you, I've heard you talk on our podcast before. I've seen you at a live event, and you just seem to have a certain way to get the students really fired up and excited. And if you could maybe tell us your secret sauce or your success formula to how you get the students so engaged. It's really fascinating.
You got to meet them where they are. They're
Okay.
all individuals. You get to know them. You start to build the programming around who they are and what they're interested in.
Yeah.
Sometimes their decision-making process surprises me. Like this year when they were deciding on what to grow, the decision was ultimately entirely based on how funny the vegetables sounded.
Oh my
Not how I
gosh.
would have chosen what to plant, but that's what they wanted. And they don't get a whole lot of power and say so yet at this juncture in their lives. So
Mhm.
being told, that's actually one of my kids right there with the teeny tiny hat.
Oh my gosh.
That you get to pick what recipe we make, you get to pick what food we grow, means a lot to them.
Yeah.
And that's Jay over there. He's one of our kiddos. In this moment, they were making those spring rolls.
Yep.
They thought so long and hard about what recipe to make for the Green Gala, what to suggest. This year, they went in a completely different direction. They're very excited to do the spinach artichoke dip.
Okay.
And they added, interestingly, basil and parsley to it, which I thought was a crazy idea. I'm not going to lie. I was like, there's already enough flavor. But they tried out the recipe just on Friday, and it was
Yeah.
delicious. I'm not gonna complain about it and not going to judge their ideas anymore. 'Cause
Okay.
they have good ideas. You gotta just trust the process.
Yeah, let me show a couple more slides. Can you speak to this slide?
Oh, this is the art school. This is Cassandra.
This is
So
Yep.
Grand
yeah,
Center.
that's not Amy, but
No,
let's
but we know her. The
okay.
kids got
Yeah.
to meet her at the Green Gala, and I've met her a few times in different
Mhm.
professional capacities, and it
Yes.
was really cool. Yet again, bridging the gap, right? Our
Right.
world becomes a little bit tighter knit, closer in community, because it's not just about like sticking a few seeds in the ground and moving on. Any
Right.
school has a school garden. What Green St. Louis Machine offers that is unique is this tight knit community that every year becomes more connected and more diverse.
Yeah.
Yes, and the responsibility part where the children know that they are responsible for the seeds to grow, for the plants to flourish, and for
Right.
the harvest to be plenty, and then in the eating and the harvesting and the eating of such plants that they planted over the time. And the most important thing is the time factor. Time and labor equals result. And the children
Right.
are learning that right now in elementary schools, middle schools, and high schools. That is huge.
Yep. All right. So what I'm going to do now is we'll come back to the slides in just a second. What I'd like to do now is then get into our second point, and that is who is or who are the primary audience, key stakeholders, and special guests for this year's Green Gala.
Mm.
And I will start with Sherry, with you on this question. First of all, who's the primary audience?
Mm.
Well, it's the primary audience that we do this for is the students
Yeah.
and their teachers. Then also the principals of the school come and they see, oh, and their families, like students' families, they can showcase. This isn't a gala like, oh, you kids go in the back room and we're going to have the
Right.
adult gala. This is all about them, and they get bling and they get hair things and beads and it's just wonderful. They're all decked out and they get an award apron that they can then go home and cook with their families. Anyway, then we have the local educators and school
Right.
leaders of other schools that are kind of going, wow, maybe this program is a pretty good program. um, and then community members, of course, we've got people from the Botanical Garden and Operation Food Search. This year, BJC, they'll be there. The St. Louis
Yeah.
Agribusiness Club. They're all interested in getting opportunities to these students. And the students really, what we found is they just don't know these
Yeah.
opportunities are there. They think, oh, I have to work at Quick Trip or fast food. Like Emmy said, when the kids don't know what they're going to do. No, so anyway, it's the audience is it's really all about the students, but the stakeholders are the universities, technical schools.
Yeah.
That's our audience. And then, well, okay, that answers that question, the audience.
So then how about our special guests who we have coming this year?
Okay, well, the Green St. Louis organizational team, we have a strategic planning team that's actually been working on like Emmy said, this exciting journey
Yeah.
we're on, because it's magical. We've got our partner schools, we've got sponsors, donors, the local businesses, especially the sustainability focused ones, and they really appreciate us. Those that I just mentioned will be there. Then we'll have some volunteers, community partners, and I really think it's going to be so cool with Emmy's students helping the chef. They are
Yeah.
going to be like whatever they call in the kitchen, call time and running back and forth. And that's how they're working with there'll be 3 professional chefs there that those kids will. And this is the kind of thing we want to expose them. We'll have special guests, leaders of the heads of schools, environmental science, bio STL, other nonprofit leaders. So and then, of course, our urban
How about
farmers, we
yeah.
always focus on them. Nick Speed, Hayward Urban Farming, Mitchell Pearson, who has mentored many urban farmers in St. Louis.
Yeah.
People like that.
So Emmy, we want to get some behind the scenes. How are you prepping your students for being so involved in this year's gala? This sounds really exciting.
A lot of the prep has been happening throughout the year.
Okay.
They are, as my kids are older, they are starting to do most of the leading on what are we making this week. It's gotten to a point now. I have mostly seniors, and I have 5 underclassmen in the after school club for Green Machine. And what they've started to do is they have a little group chat going. The seniors who have been in the program since they were 8th graders, really, at this point.
Yeah.
Send out a message Thursday or Wednesday even to be like, what do you guys want to make this week? Well, I'll bring this ingredient. You bring that ingredient. Emmy, can you bring this ingredient? And it's really exciting because at first it was me begging and pleading, like, please, we have to have a plan so that we can cook something. But now they experienced this for so many years that when I say, okay, I need someone to go refill the tower garden, I've got the 3 or 4 kids who are like, oh, it's my turn. I'll do it. We had an outbreak recently of thrips, which is a very annoying insect, super teeny tiny. And the kids noticed it before I did this time, which was really cool. They're like, hey, there's some weird tiny dots appearing on our plant. It looks like it might be sick. This reminds me of that one time that we had thrips. And I'm like, oh no, not again. We did forget to be proactive in managing the pest pressures this time. So they knew exactly what to do. They're like, okay, I mean, you got to get that neem oil ready for us next week. We'll have the spray bottles. It'll be all solved. So it's really exciting because I haven't had to do anything per se differently this year. It's just been keeping the consistency of the program, really starting to trust them when they say they know what to do. I can sit back and supervise and be like, ooh, please be careful. You're going to spill that. Or when they're chopping vegetables, like, oh, remember technique. Chef Rona taught us how to hold that knife correctly. But the big thing that's different this year with so many of my kiddos being at the edge of graduating has been learning to take a deep breath and trust them.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's really cool, Emmy, and it's going to be really cool. And so what I'd like to do now is, kind of bring back now our third main point. And really, Stella, why don't you talk to us about the impact and mission and why this gala really matters so much? We know obviously from the student perspective, but talk to us about from the community side of things, and also how it's really going to connect different groups and stakeholders together.
Yes. Why this gala? Why does Green St. Louis Machine matter? What is the impact? What is the mission? And these are very, very, very important questions. So let's talk about the community impact. In terms of our community, most people have grown up going to the grocery stores and purchasing their food, and that's just where food comes from.
Right.
But it's not. We all know that that's not where food comes from. We now
Yeah.
know. And so Green St. Louis Mission's mission is to say to children, food doesn't come from the grocery store. And here is where it comes from. And with practical experiences and experiments, the children are able to grow most of their produce, in terms of what they use for um, garnishing, what they use for um, flavoring, what they use as vegetables on their plates.
Right.
They know where all of those are coming from. And then they say to themselves, oh, I can grow this myself. It's not that hard. And Green St. Louis Mission is giving me the expertise to do that. And once they can do that, you know what? They have empowered themselves to eat healthier.
Right.
And then also, if they have surplus of what they grew, they can be entrepreneurs. They can sell what they grew, or they can share what they grew. So, what a wonderful impact on the community that someone is able to supply a need that we have.
Yes.
So that is one of the things we are proud of as Green St. Louis Mission. And secondly, our kids think that some of the science lessons are just science lessons, but we bring that home with the STEM and STEAM experiences running through
Right.
school placed tower gardens, leading to and resulting in inspiration to create outdoor school gardens too. So we have the indoor and we have the outdoor, and now let's do some comparisons. Let's do some real work to see how what we are doing inside is equivalent to what we do outside. And so
Right.
here's your rock wool as your soil, and here is your real soil as your soil. And the kids are
Right.
beginning to see the relationship between the scientific, technological, agricultural process and the real agricultural process that is going on in every farmland in America and
Yeah.
worldwide. So we are so much proud of that because we are the only organization that brings that home to our children.
Mm.
And what a wonderful place to start, your children, because if you give that to them,
Right.
the knowledge is exponentially going to multiply. And that's what we want.
Right.
Food is medicine. And when
Yep.
your child is walking around not knowing where the food comes from, they wouldn't know how to cure some of the diseases that will befall them in life. So for Green St. Louis Mission, we are saying we are handing this over to you because you can make it happen. And then you cure your own diseases, and you also you are strong enough to respond to lack of anything in your community. You can then deal with that yourself because you have the skills to do so. And
Wow.
yeah, that is so powerful, isn't it?
It
um
it totally is. And so what we're gonna do, let's go to Emmy on this because
mhm.
we know a big part of this is going to be supporting hands-on STEM and STEAM learning through the Tower Gardens and some other means. So what does that mean to you, knowing that there's a big component here between the STEM and the STEAM? Maybe you could let our viewers know exactly what we're even referring to.
Having the tower garden in the building is a
Yeah.
huge boon to begin with. I teach an environmental science class. I also teach a health class, which are not officially part of Green St. Louis Machine, but benefit from the addition of the program within the school.
Yeah.
Because, for example, our environmental science class just started covering solid waste, right? So they're
Yep.
learning about landfills. And one of the things that's an important standard is understanding what alternatives exist to the landfills
Right.
and why it's important to invest in those, right? So composting came up. And instead of just
Mm.
being like, oh, here's a picture of a compost bin, we actually have a little field trip to the school compost bin coming up
Oh wow.
so that they can go explore that. And then we have some guest speakers who are just their peers who actually set up the compost bin who actually every week shred cardboard from the printer room in the school
Wow.
to add to the compost bin. And then it's going to connect back to what we learned about the nitrogen cycle. And then it comes full circle in a tangible way. And then for the kids who are in Green St. Louis Machine, just this Friday, as we're planting those turnips, which I'm still rolling my eyes about, because they could not stop shouting, "Turn up for turnips." They were digging up grubs that they found in the soil, and we're talking about how the grubs are going to turn into beetles. So we're learning about the life cycle of some of the pests that we're dealing with. And so we're talking about ways to handle this pest pressure. And there's this tangible joy, this palpable joy, as the kiddo who hasn't put his hands on a worm in so long rediscovers, oh, when I was 5, this was my favorite thing to do.
Right.
And the ones who don't want to touch the dirt don't have to touch the dirt. They have other ways that they contribute.
Sure.
Like, for example, identifying, oh, there's a grub and that's a worm. Worms go in the compost bin. Grubs get thrown onto the sidewalk because the birds will eat them. There's a ruthlessness to nature involved as well, of course, because they're learning about the predator-prey relationship with the birds and the grubs.
Mm-hmm.
But now everything they learned in biology class when they were freshmen is getting reactivated, right? They're no longer just going to hear it one time, forget about it. It's never going to be relevant. It has come up in a multitude of ways. They've experienced it and participated in it. So it's
go ahead.
Can I interject? As
Sure.
a classroom teacher, there you go, and you are talking about biology, you're talking about preys and predators, and you're talking about all of that. Those are the Missouri standards or the national science standards that teachers are trying to teach, and they have no way of making it real and presenting it to children. And with the Green St. Louis Machine apparatus and the everyday lesson around Green St. Louis Machine, you are able to drive that home. And children are looking at them and they're seeing them truthfully that they are empaths in real life. And so it's not so hard to remember for test taking purposes or whatever it is that is called for. They know this as practical examples of what they have experienced growing up. That is huge.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I mean, I say this every time, I don't know, wherever on a podcast or I see you live, but you make your class sound so fun. And like when I just hear science, like environmental science or some of these other sciences you teach, it's like, it just seems like I wasn't that kid growing up, it's like, that doesn't sound very fun, but I got to tell you, the stories that you share and the way you get your students engaged, I mean, it just, like, if I could go back in time, seriously, I would take your class and I'm sure I would absolutely love it. Because to what you just said is you're bringing everything back full circle. That's what I love what the St. Louis Green Machine is helping you do by being part of this Green Gala event. And the best part is it's on display for the community as well as for the parents and certainly for all the guests that are going to be there. So, seriously, I mean, it's such a great thing what you and some of our other teachers are doing. Just want to say thank you so much.
I just got a note from Ciara, who is traveling back from a STEM conference in Kansas City, and she is going to pull over and join us, hopefully. But if not, it's she.
Okay, well, I hope so. So with that, Sherry, I'm going to put you kind of on the hot green seat, if you would. And I know that we've spent quite a bit of time recently in some messaging, and I want you to, speak to this because moving forward, one of our core messages with this Green St. Louis Machine is growing food, growing minds, and growing community. And I was wondering if you could give us, kind of a working or operational definition of what this means to you, and more importantly, what it means to everyone that will be attending the Green Gala.
I think it will connect the dots, as everyone has been saying. But to me, I'm not an educator or a science person. I'm an accountant by training. But it just, I mean, you don't have to be one of those to know it connects the dots from seed to table. And I don't know, if this, I just keep thinking back to in November when Stella and I met with the governor at a large meeting,
Yeah.
and he was telling us that, yes, he agrees. Students need to know where their food comes from. And so he's really behind what we do. If you could read our newsletter, you'll see a picture of Stella talking to the governor there.
Yeah.
And so we've got a mandate really from the governor. Then recently, the House of whatever in Missouri, the House and Senate, that's unanimously passed a bill that says students must learn about where their food comes from in
Yeah.
elementary school, starting in elementary, not waiting till high school and go, oh, now it's by then, they've already resigned themselves many times. So we've got a really, speaking of Green St. Louis machine, we've got a green light, we've got the green
Yeah.
carpet laid out. We're not, we could use funding. This is kind of a new concept now to fund something like this. So we are
Yeah.
seeking some funding to become able to deliver what we do. And then you definitely grow the community because kids and to schools, to the families, to the community. And that's where we have already clicked with these partner organizations that they want to reach these kids and their families,
Yeah.
but they want to come in, what we found a lot of times people, oh, I'm going to come in and speak once a year, or I'm going to give the teacher this lesson plan. And then
Yeah.
bye, see you later, once a year, just once. No, we've got to just day to day, the growing is going on in the classroom, and experts are coming in, chefs, farmers, community advocates for sustainable systems like this and food justice. Right now, we are applying for a grant from the Paul Newman Foundation. It's called the Food Justice for Kids Award, and that will really strengthen the work we're doing. But
Yep.
it's just obvious. It's just common sense. It's connecting the dots. So that's
Well, yeah, Sherry, along that line, I'm going to finish just a few more slides, let you guys speak to it. So I'll bring this up, and anyone want to, tell us what we're looking at here, because this looks very, very engaging. It looks like there's a whole lot going on. So
So
someone
this
fill us
was
in on what this is.
this
Yeah.
was kind of early on before we
Okay.
got to this was now we have about 13 partner schools. This was probably when we had about 6 or 7. Their
Okay.
kids are serving and they're engaging with the guests. They're actually we had a small enough number of guests where the kids were actually played, serving the food to the guests. And I believe yeah, they're serving it to their adult parents and
Okay.
aunts and uncles and things like that. Yeah.
All right. Let's go to the next one.
And then the students are posing in their aprons their award aprons. And then their each group is getting their picture taken. And then down in the lower left corner is they're going through the buffet line serving. They're serving other students. They're serving the
Yeah.
food that they made. Now, way in the past, we have the students have gone ahead and prepared the food, but with COVID and then sanitary, and we've grown so much now. It's not held in this particular room where the slide is shown. It's held in a big gymnasium, and we're already outgrowing that. We hope to be at Bear Crop Science next year. They have the space for us to be doing this. So yeah, and that's in the middle there is one of the teachers and student posing. So.
And so, Emmy, I think you got a little narrative to this. So, what are the students? Are they chanting or yelling something during this time?
Not particularly.
I think they're just. I think in this one it's kind of small. I think Cassandra Lentz was being awarded a Teacher of the Year, a
Oh,
green,
okay. So that's why
green
they're all
Teacher of the
celebrating.
Year. Yeah, that's
Okay.
what they're celebrating, and that was probably before Emmy came aboard with us.
Okay.
This goes way back to 2015, Guy, and some of these pictures that I sent you, I just
Yeah.
wasn't sure. There's so many pictures. This isn't one of the older ones, and then we've tried to do a report after
Yeah.
each Green Gala. This is from 1 or 2 years ago and
Okay.
shows the different partner schools and who's participating. And we track the menus we've served, and I think there's a few more slides like this.
Yeah. Oh, there's your menu. Yep.
There's the menu, and I believe we've tracked how many servings. Yeah. So that's statistics data, right? This is the data from the event. And a lot of kids, like I was telling Emmy, that are going to help chefs in the kitchen this year, they
Yeah.
will be able to take home lots of good leftovers to their families. It's like a
That's
good
cool.
reward because it will be delicious.
It makes a huge difference too,
Yeah.
because a lot of our families in St.
So-
Louis are struggling with food insecurity.
Mhm.
It's
Yeah.
a problem that is not getting
Yeah.
a whole lot of
Over
attention.
lots and
but
lots of servings made.
Yeah.
yeah, a lot of our
Um,
kiddos are relying on
And the
that
kids,
school lunch.
you will see kids eating. I'm not sure, one of my slides uploaded showed the plate of food that students have. They are eating stuff their parents tell us they would never eat this at home, or they never thought their child would eat this. Yeah,
Like that.
like
Mhm.
that. The greens, collard greens, and I'm not sure what's all in that, but it's all like spinach, artichoke, the artichokes or the spinach, the parsley. Um, Now we did have corn muffins. They were a big hit, but they go with those other greens, the broccolis and the lettuces, Caesar salads. I mean, just unique food and each school has their own signature dish. And I
Mhm.
think
My
the
kids
kids
are
find it interesting to respect the other schools and try my recipe. Oh, you're not going to
Absolutely.
try it?
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
And then we also always have the different herbs. And this year, the herbs are on display. We'll have those on display. We'll have a walkthrough of the Tower Garden,
Okay.
and each school is choosing an herb to feature in their dish. And so
Nice.
our lead chef, Chef Rona, decided this year, who cares about the same old boring greens like parsley and basil and things like that? The same, not boring, but stuff we're used to seeing in the grocery store. No, we have
Sure.
salad burnet, we have lime basil, a catnip. I don't know, they'll sorrel, they'll all be on display at the Green Gala. So the education will continue. So people can smell it, touch it, all those different ones. They'll be growing in a tower garden there. So people can see, wow, you can really grow this. And it's delicious. They'll taste it as well.
So with that, I'm gonna just put this on the screen for everyone. And Stella, anything you want to say? I mean, it's coming up in actually just
Oh,
under 2 weeks. We're looking at Thursday, April 9th from
yes.
4:30 to 6:30. And kind of give us a parting shot of what you like to say to certainly everyone that's watching this podcast.
Well, if you're watching this podcast, I am inviting you to this Green Gala 2026. It's Thursday, April 9th, 4:30 to 6:30. It will be the most wonderful 2 hours that you have spent in your lifetime because you are going to be working with children. You are going to be interacting with children, their parents, and the entire community of people who have been um, the right word is that they have been subjected
Yeah.
to a very severe lack of sustainable green, fresh food. And Green St. Louis Mission is empowering them to find a way to create those green, fresh food for themselves. And by doing that is to plant and to nurture and to harvest and cook and eat those foods for their own nourishment. And this Thursday, April 9th, is a showcase, but that in your community, while you are not even watching, that there is much going on
Yeah.
with Vincent Louis Mission and the community partnerships in turning things around, especially for diabetic patients with
Yeah.
um, with Christian hospitals, north and south and east,
Yeah.
with schools having salad bars and children taking greens home to add to the dinner menu for that day. And children saying, oh, wow, I love pesto. I
Yeah.
love these dishes that have been created by our major chefs that are coming in and telling us that you can, you know, pair these vegetables and fruits and vegetables together to make such a delicious plate. And I have finished my plate. And can I have seconds? Can I have third? And and
Hear
and
it all the time.
yeah, and I'm standing there and going, wow, these children are really enjoying this. Now, I
Yeah.
have a confession to make. There is a child that I've been following and I've been documenting. The child has a lot of facial breakouts, very discoloration of the facial skin tone.
Hmm.
And this just passed last Thursday. We had a talk, and I said, "Oh, your facial breakout healing." And she says, "Yeah, but I don't know why." And now all I do is I just eat my vegetables. That's all I do. I've started eating my vegetables, Miss Erondu, and I'm enjoying my vegetables. And you know what? I never tasted green peas until yesterday. She said. I said, "Well, now who cooked it?" She says, "Oh, when we went to the store, I picked up a bag of green peas and told my mom to make it." So I don't know where this is going, but of course, there is a conscious introduction back to the food, the real food, through Green St. Louis machine, hammering that green is good, you know?
Yep.
So I can only say that. I'm not in every kitchen, I'm not in every household. Sherry is not, but the whole idea, and of course, Amy, the classroom teacher, is hammering, eat it, it's good for you. And the children are noticing, they are heeding to this very, very call, and hopefully we can continue to move on and do this. Food is medicine. It has always been. It was during our ancestral fathers and mothers. And what we did was we said, oh, if it's processed, it's good. No, it's not good for you if it is
Right.
processed. We need to bring our children back to the basis.
Yeah. So with that, Emmy, let's go to you for your parting shot and really think about this question for a second. I know we've talked a lot about what you do and what your students are going to do, but what is something, if I was, say a parent or I was someone from the community, what is something that we should pay attention to with your students that maybe, to show that we're starting to see the impact that you all are having on them that maybe we haven't talked about already, because I'm sure there's some other things that you're preparing them for that to bring really this whole thing full circle with how you're teaching the curriculum and getting them ready for this event.
For my older kids, the thing that I think has been most influential
Yeah.
from Green St. Louis Machine, they have developed a sense of agency that I have not seen in other groups of students throughout the school building, purely because they have been entrusted week after week for years on end now with these
Yeah.
responsibilities. And at the same time, we've made those responsibilities fun. We're not just saying, eat kale. Oh my gosh, it's so good for you. Why don't you eat your veggies? We're
Right.
going, hey, did you know if you put a little lemon juice and olive oil, some salt, some pepper, some garlic on that kale, maybe
Hmm.
you put it in that air fryer, it can be delicious. Do you want to try it? And then the next thing you know, they're like, hey, mom, hey, dad, hey, grandpa, neighbor, hey, whoever,
Sure.
this thing I made, it's delicious. Why don't you try it? Even a sourdough starter started getting passed around
Mm,
in the school building because I mentioned it once during class, and they were like, "Well, I'll try that." I
mm,
told them how much work it is to take care of every week, and they said that doesn't sound any harder than the Tower Garden. The
mm.
next thing I know, I have kids coming to me with their rosemary bread that they baked at home at 17, 18 years old, and it's better than my bread. I'm very salty about it. I have not successfully baked a sourdough loaf nearly as good as the ones that the kids are bringing.
Wow.
There's a joy to it. The like students have surpassed me in
Yeah.
their skills, which is very, very exciting.
Wow. Thank you so much for sharing that. I know you put a
Yeah.
big smile on all our faces. And speaking of the final word, when it comes down to Sherry, what is something that you would like to tell, obviously, our folks that are watching the replay of this podcast, and certainly why they want to be at this year's Green Gala on Thursday, April 9th?
So please go ahead and follow us on some of our social media. This will be posted on Green STL TV. If anybody wants to figure out how to do a Green Gala, we can put the outline here or whatever of the way we do it. Um,
Yeah.
but also the website greenstlmachine.org, greenstlmachine.org. Come and experience it. See what it's like to have that conviviality. Stella likes to use that word, but it's like
Yeah.
liveliness, social condition that kids just love. I mean, they just they love this. It's hands-on, it's project-based, and it's something that they're going to think of every single day for the rest of their lives when they make food. And they'll be I'm work helping assist these chefs. And I like, oh
Yeah.
my gosh, I'm going to go make a vinaigrette, or I'm going to muddle
Yeah.
some of this basil and then use it in something, to sauce. So um, everybody's getting empowered at the same time. And I'm growing things myself that I'm like, wow, I can grow this, So I'm a city girl. I didn't know how to grow, so I'm loving being part of it. So yeah.
Well, that's so exciting. So, all right.
And just a minute, Sherry, that
Yeah.
conviviality and the children are eating together. Have you even seen where they are sitting together and eating and sharing each other's creation?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that is a wonderful part that I love. And when the kids when we were asking them to get ready for this gala at Northside Community School, and the children were asking me, "Oh, will we eat the food made by the other schools?" That is
See?
huge because
Yeah.
they want to socialize like that. It's not sitting down with video games. It is sitting down at a table eating with other children. They
Oh
love
yeah,
that.
they're looking forward to that
Yeah.
experience of who's going to be there, and our dish is going to be featured,
Mm.
Yeah.
um and look at how their tower gardens look versus our tower garden, in our classroom,
Yeah.
and
Of
so
course.
Yeah.
um
Yeah.
nothing like it.
Nothing.
So if you we probably, I guess one parting shot I would have is that we may have a couple of opportunities to partner with new schools if you know of a school that might want this program there. But
Yeah.
it has to be a teacher that wants it, not where the principal says, "Here, you do this." The teacher's like, "I didn't ask." It's got to be a teacher that wants to, like, who wants to be part of this. It's amazing to be part of this journey. We're on an exciting journey together. So.
Absolutely.
One thing we didn't bring in is the entrepreneurship and the workforce that connects with
Mhm.
Green St. Louis Mission. Being a farmer used to be something you push off to somebody in the rural areas, but having being a farmer can be something you can do in the greater St. Louis area, in your own neighborhood, and is finding people with similar interests to grow fresh foods and eat fresh food. So we are also with Bio St. Louis, Bio St. Louis, and the what is it?
The agribusiness club and
agro, Agribusiness, club, and the Danforth Center and all of that. There are so many huge workforce opportunities for our children. They just need to be guided to how to
Yeah.
get there. And that has been missing for umpteen years from our children. And when I go to Danforth Center, I'm not calling them out for any reason. No, I'm not. I do see a whole lot of other people there, but our children never ever knew that they had an opportunity waiting for them. So we need to garner our expertise to guide our children to go to their home state and city opportunities and grab them and have good jobs in front of them and raise their families around these things that are in our neighborhoods and in our community. So I have so much high hopes. I have so much high hopes. And Sherry will say to me, this is where we're here to prop each other, to help hold our hands with each other to help our children. And she's 100% right. We have to really do this. This is something that we must do for all our children and their parents and their communities. And Guy, you have been so good at supporting us to get these words out. And as the president of Green St. Louis Mission, I applaud this effort, and I want us to do even more. And thank you for this evening. And for
Yeah, Stella, you are so welcome, and I just cannot wait to see, everyone again. I put the date up to the Green Gala on Thursday, April 9th. It's going to be a spectacular event, and Emmy, you and Ciara and some of our teachers, we cannot say enough of the work that you are doing on the front lines and how you're shaping young people's lives. And certainly Stella and Sherry, your leadership, you've been doing this for a very long time. I just love hearing both of you speak, because you guys are speaking like you just joined this group like yesterday, and yet you've been doing it for over a decade. I feel your passion. We feel your passion, and I just cannot wait for this event. So for our amazing guests, for Stella, Sherry, and certainly Emmy, just want to thank you guys for tuning, or actually being part of this podcast as we get set for the Green Gala again on Thursday, April 9th. Wish you guys all the best, and we'll see you on April 9th. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Bye. Thank you.